This is True Buds, that Mary Jane, now we ain't new to this. For my stoners and for my cannabis enthusiasts, never heard a show as good as this. Yeah, number one, it's the best. Bringing in many special guests in the industry of cannabis. Business owners to growers, even artists you know of. So sit back and just roll up the perfect show for my smokers. True Buds.
And special thanks to the sponsor today, Real Leaf. If you like smoking spliffs, you're tired of tobacco, go to realleaf.com, grab some of their terpene-enhanced herbs, and roll a fatty spliff. Now, back to the show. What is up, my True Buds? Welcome to the True Buds Show. It's your buddy Jack Woltering here with a special guest today, Surfboard C. Just a dope musician, graphic designer, just dropping content like crazy, man. And I found Surfboard C when I met Nether Friends. I was checking out some of Nether Friends' music, and then I, of course, stumbled into the collabs you've done with him, seen Surfboard C on there. I'm like, dude, you go hard. I like your style, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me, too. I really appreciate this.
Bro, it feels really good to have you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
So, how would you describe your sound?
You know what? It's weird, man. People say it's a vibe. Like they put it on, they decide I put on like a record of yours, and I just vibe out to it. I don't know. It's mellow, but it's like it's poetic as well. You know, I love to write. Like I think like above all else, I love to write. So with the rhymes, it's like I'm really passionate about them being like as good as they can be. You know what I mean? I really I push the envelope on that. But yeah, it's just mellow. You know, it's musical. You know what I mean? It's chill. It's chill. It's really, it's like perfect for people who smoke. Like honestly.
Oh yeah. That's what that was my first impression. Was just like the word, just like smooth. I was like, it's just smooth, man.
Thank you.
Perfect smoking music, man.
Thank you.
And that's a good segue. How often do you smoke? What's your creative process? Do you include it at all?
Well, it's kind of crazy, man. It's I've been kind of like switching up. I'm not really a big smoker as much anymore. It's a weird thing. I love weed though. Like I'm so passionate about it. I smoke. I would say like a few times a week, and in those cases, I typically a microdose. I would say I take like a puff or two. You know what I mean? And then I'm just chill. And then at that point, if I'm working on music or it just comes to me, man. You know, it's pretty. It just opens it all up, and it comes to me. And it's a big help in my process for sure.
Oh yeah, man, and that's all you need too. Especially if you're doing it a couple times a week, just a couple puffs, man.
Right. Yeah.
Did an eighth last year.
Yeah, like a month or two. Like, I mean that for real. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's nice. We know how quick it can go. I mean, it sounded like you were saying you used to, go a little heavier.
I used to smoke like a bit more, man, and but I've never been a person who kind of abused it. You know what I mean? But I definitely used to smoke a bit more. But I think that just getting older and doing more business, you know what I mean? It just, after a while, I need to be on point, like So yeah, I mellowed out on that for sure.
I feel you.
But it's interesting. Is that when you reached out to me about this, at first I was like, well, I'm not like the biggest smoker anymore. Then I thought to myself, well, that's its own angle. You know what I mean? And because there are many people out there who enjoy it in that way as well. So I think I'll represent them.
Oh yeah, man! I appreciate you coming in and representing them because that's one of the main reasons I'm doing this whole podcast is to show that like, okay, maybe some people don't smoke all the time, but you can just smoke sometimes if you want, get a little creative with it, whatever you're feeling. But I appreciate that perspective on it, man.
That's cool. Thank you.
Yeah, man. I keep staring at your hat here, man. So, I forgot to say, go Surfboard C on IG if you want to catch up. Dope link right now for a show I'll talk about in a little bit coming up here in the new year. But a little bit about the merch, man.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like originally, I've been like in music for like forever. Like I love music, and but I reached a point where it's kind of crazy. I reached a point where I was like, I'm done with music. I work in design, and I'll just do that. So I kind of invented, this whole like it was like a brand idea. And so I made like a few pieces, and I was like, man, it would be amazing if I made like a record, what I'm saying, to promote my brand. And so I made a few records, and I was like, oh, you know what, man? Like, I love music. I need to go hard in this again. So it kind of just came out of that. But the merch is really cool, man. It's kind of like it works as merch for me, like as a musician. But then again, I feel like it's good enough to work on its own as its own brand and as like its own entity. So yeah, man, it's like apparel. I look at it as like it's real apparel, not just as like a merch brand. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, yeah. It's like
Yeah,
apparel. Okay, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That makes sense, man.
Mhm.
So that's kind of where that's where the name came from for
Right,
the rap name
right,
came from kind of the brand that
right.
that
Yeah,
essentially you're saying.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, it's like I love music, and I think like I said, I went through a phase where it just was on like the back burner. You know what I mean? And then this one night, man, I was in like a bad accident, and it was like a weird thing. It's like, cause all day I pretty much had been like thinking about being in like an accident. You know what I'm saying? So I'm driving along at like midnight or whatever, and I get into a fucking accident, and I'm like, I made it out of it alive. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh man, I've been thinking about this like all day. So imagine if I thought about what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? And it just changed everything for me. So I was like, I love music. I love to be creative. You know what I'm saying? I need to, you know, maybe like a bit of a mentality switch and to go hard. You know what I mean? And that's what happened. And so it's all born out of that. Like honestly, yeah,
That's cool, man. It's
yeah.
always cool to hear stories like that
Hmm.
where like something tragic happens, but
Yeah.
you rise out the top.
Hmm. Thank you.
But yeah, man, damn. So just a car wreck on.
Right. Yeah, it was in like Koreatown, I guess.
Oh damn.
So I'm riding along at midnight, and it's this guy, man. He's running from the police.
Oh shit.
So he ran through a bunch of shit, and he hit me and a bunch of other people.
Damn.
And so yeah, it's like in that moment, man. You thinking like, damn, I might die. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So when I make it out of it alive, like I guess a week or two afterwards, I'm just I'm thinking about things like, yo, I need to make a mentality switch. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that's and it's crazy because weed was a big help in that too because I was in pain for like a long time. So that was a big help, and then it's a weird thing because it's like a debate about about like you know because I was on like the meds,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
and that shit is crazy, man. It's like so you get like addicted to that shit, and I just put it away. See, I
Yeah, for
just,
real. You're just like, I'm not
saying,
fucking
yeah, I'm
with
not
it.
fucking with
Yeah.
this. I went back to the weed,
Props to you,
and that
man.
really helps. Yeah, yeah, that was a big help.
For real though. That's so on those sorry, on your designs there, how do you do those all digitally or do you
Right.
free
Yeah, it's all digital design. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So that's what I do. That's what I'm good at. You know what I'm saying? It's like there are people out there who can do all of this stuff with the pencil, and I'm not really good at that. You know what I'm saying? But digital design is that's my sweet spot.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
Maybe
so I
I'd
create all this stuff.
like to talk to you more about that too and maybe
Okay.
do a collaboration on
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah,
Because
that'd
I
be
bought
great.
my stuff through like I bought my through like Fiverr is where I got my
Okay.
logos and stuff,
Right. Okay.
which I was pleasantly like pleased with
Hmm.
and surprised at the outcome on some. But I have bought some gigs there that like I didn't even use because they're complete shit.
Of
So I'm like,
course. Yeah.
so
It's
what's
a
your thoughts on
gamble.
that? On like the Upwork and Fiverr and
Oh, I'm sorry.
there you go.
That stuff, it's a gamble. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
that's
It's a
it.
gamble. You know what I mean? Like, I guess I've learned. I mean, working as like a pro in this, it's like you know, it's best if you're with a person or if it's a person who you've been around and they're like, okay, well, I know what you're about, so I'll work. I'll work in a way that I know is able to make you happy. You know what I'm saying? When working with people off the internet, it's like I never met these people in my life.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's a gamble. It's a gamble because it's like the ability is one thing, but then it's just like the host. Um, it's like the it's a vibration that comes from being around a person a lot and being like, yo, I know what he likes. You know what I
For
mean?
sure, yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can feel it out. It's not yeah.
yeah. It's different. It really helps.
Nice, man. So how you've been doing graphic design before hip hop? Were you
Um,
saying, or were you did music? You're like
I
from
didn't. I think I've done both, but the music was like a real thing that I wanted to do. It's like I love design, but I didn't think of it like as a career because it just wasn't around. It wasn't like a thing I knew about. I was like, oh, this is a career. It took me a while to like to really get that. So it's like I say, I want to be like a rapper. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm gonna be like a big hip hop artist, and then I got to a point where I was like, I don't know, but I needed a career. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what? It's like a workflow that's pretty much identical. You know what I mean? So I'm being creative. I'm on the computer. It's pretty much, so I went with that. So I've been like in this industry for like a decade, and yeah, I love design, man. I'm kind of like I'm in a place to where I kind of want to be, I've brought people in who work under me. You know what I'm saying? Like to build up the brand, and I like doing that. I feel like at this point I'm really into that. That's my sweet spot. Being on a computer all day is great, but I do like to have people who work under me, and I just like,
That's the next level,
yeah,
man.
exactly. I'll
That's
come up with the ideas and just communicate the ideas. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
Props to you. That's the next level. That's
Thank
where
you.
I'm trying to get at right now with all
Yes.
my editing and stuff. Because, like you said, like I don't mind doing it sometimes, but
Mhm.
at the end of the day, it is kind of like grunt work to me. I'm like, okay,
Right,
shit,
right.
like it's gonna take some hours right now.
Yeah,
Where you
yeah,
could be just straight up on the creative process for the
exactly. And being a boss, I mean, being a boss and a worker is different. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? So it's like a new mentality. You know what I mean?
yeah, man. That's an instant level up right there,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
So, this is a hard question. I feel like whenever I ask people and
Hmm.
stuff, like, what do you have a project that stands out above others that you've designed,
Ooh, hmm. Damn, that's crazy.
or maybe that you're just feeling more stand out? Might
That I like more. It's crazy. Yeah, I made like a T-shirt, and it's funny because I created it, and I was like so amazed by it, and people didn't buy it. Like it just works like that
yeah,
sometimes,
yeah.
but it's crazy. So people didn't buy it, so I just put them up in my house, and like, and if I bring a person on who works for me, I'll give them one. But yeah, it's so crazy how that works out. But like, I love the hats as well, and people are really into these. Yeah, but it's crazy, man. I made that T-shirt. It's like the wave that you see, and it's like the pattern, like the palette is really great. You know what I mean?
Is that
But
like the
people just
pastel?
right,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and people just they didn't buy it. I don't know. I don't know, but it may come back around. You never know with these
Oh,
things.
yeah, I was
Yeah,
scrolling through your feed and it looked fresh, and that
yeah.
brings me to another point: is
Mhm.
all your cover art for your albums. Do you do all that?
Yes, yes. I make all
Yeah,
that stuff
man.
myself.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
stuff looks
yeah.
that looks clean, man.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. I'm passionate about it, man, and I want it to look good. And like the world that we're in, it's so quick. You know what I mean? So people are processing it like immediately. So if it's whack, it just won't. It won't resonate with people. You know what I mean?
And it
So
stands out, and it
yeah.
would make me, if I was scrolling through whatever site I'm scrolling through,
Hmm.
the professional art makes a
Hmm.
huge, like, instant, like,
Right.
subconscious difference, or
Exactly.
maybe not something, but it makes a huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. For sure.
Yeah, man. That's so. How many albums have you done? Or do you drop? It seems like you drop a lot of like singles and stuff and
Yeah,
collaborations.
yeah, yeah. Um, as far as Surfboard C, I've dropped 5 albums overall.
Okay.
Um, and like a bunch of other shit just out there, you know what I'm saying? And um, yeah, I like to make the albums. I think that it's like a weird thing. I'm like I view myself as like a real artist, you know what I mean? So I like albums, but it seems like people are not as into like the album anymore. You know what I'm saying? It seems it seems like it's almost to where it's antiquated in some ways with the way people are, I don't it's the music industry is different now. But I like to make the albums, but I might get out of that, you know what I'm saying? Like honestly. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just do a bunch of singles and
Right.
okay.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's a weird time now, man.
It
It's a
is,
weird
man.
time.
And
Yeah.
talking to other friends, and we were
Uh-huh.
talking a little earlier, and
Uh-huh.
how much content both of you drop, and it's
Uh-huh.
like,
Uh-huh.
dude, like, and that's it makes so much sense. That's what everybody's doing,
Right.
and apart from the music industry, like I feel like
Uh-huh.
everybody in the media game is just cranking, cranking,
Right.
cranking.
Right.
So it only makes sense that it will
Right.
kind of be the same thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And
But I feel like I guess there's still the artist though. Like
uh-huh.
there's some dudes who drop like I was reading something like, oh, Gucci Man dropped like 5 albums by the time Kendrick dropped one. Like
Right. Right.
what's better? Like but there is no. It's
It's
all
yeah.
subjective.
Right. It's no right way.
Yeah,
It's no right way. In terms of just like the way it's looked at. It's no right way because, I mean, this man's a real artist, so he might take a while. Something. He has a rep for being a real artist. Like I love Kendrick. That's his rep. You know what I'm saying? You know, I love Gucci, but it's looked at a bit differently if we being honest.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So it's in his best. You know, it's best for him to put out a bunch of albums because you know he may have like a full album with like a joint or two that people are into. So it's best if he you know he bangs out a new album so people can have like a new joint. You know what I mean? It's just kind of
Yeah,
it's in
for
his
some,
best interest
yeah,
to
yeah.
you know
And when you were saying
if we're
that, bro,
being
a
honest.
funny comparison popped in my head. I don't know if it's gonna be right, but like I was picturing like somebody like a Daniel Day-Lewis with like who does like a film every, and then you got
Right.
like Nicolas Cage just like cranking.
Right, exactly, and they different. You
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
That's exactly what I'm getting
Yeah,
at. Yeah,
yeah.
it's like, and it's all good. There's no metric for like the right way of approaching these things. Honestly, it's just like you have a brand, and then it's about being honest, which is it's like you have to be honest about the way people are viewing you, and if you can do that, it's all it's all good. But like I say, he's looked at as a real artist, so he moves like a real artist. You know what I mean? But yeah, but for me, just in terms of like the business of music, it's almost like a video game at this point. You know what I mean? So it's like algorithms and all this shit is involved now, and it was it was just about the like emotion. You know what I'm saying? Like you hear a record and it just hits you. I mean, but these days, it's algorithms. You know what I'm saying? And and all that shit. So it's like, if we're being honest, it's time to approach it a bit differently. You know what I mean? And just get out there. And then once I'm a bit bigger, and then I'll move back to like to where it's just art. You know what I mean? Because I love art. I love to I approach my work like it's art. You know what I mean? And I really like it's tough to like to make that work. You know what I'm saying? Because it's honest. You know what I mean? And that's like its own work. You know what I'm saying? Working on music is one thing, but it takes work to be able to put, just put it all out there too. I'm on my records, I'm being pretty honest. You know what I mean? So it's hard to do that. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm
So
right with you,
yeah,
man.
so yeah.
But it's more rewarding too when you do it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like
it really
okay, shit.
is. It really is because it resonates, and then you know the time may go past, and I look back at it and I listen to it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I went through at that time period. You know what I mean? So yeah, it does help, man. But it's intensive though. You know what I'm saying? It's intensive to work like that. So I think I'm going through a period where I'm not going to do as much of that. You know what I mean? Just put the records out. Just put them out.
Put them out,
Yeah.
and then you'll do just some shows out here. Or are you gonna?
Yeah, I want to do more shows for sure. Yeah, I'm learning that these days, man, it's like any other business. It's like you have to have a piece of it that's just like, proprietary. So it's like, um, there's millions of records out there. You know what I'm saying? But me being out, like, with the people in front of the people, that's a thing. You know what I'm saying? That's worth something. So I want to, I'm focused on that. Like, as far as 2020, yeah, I'm really focused on getting, I want to do a bit more of that for sure.
Nice, man. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
hoping I can make it to the show up in the new year here. And it's at 1720
Yeah,
is the
yeah,
venue,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Cool, man. And how much does that cost for a ticket?
I think, it's pretty cheap.
Pretty cheap. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I forget the exact amount, but it's pretty cheap. It won't break the bank. You know what I'm saying? We're
Yeah,
just
yeah.
trying to get people out
Yeah,
and really
man.
just like promote our brands. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it's all about. Yeah,
Just have fun and just
yeah,
crush it. I'm
yeah.
trying to.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to see you guys live. I'm yet to see another friends live, so
Oh yeah, it's
I'm excited to
crazy.
see you guys.
Yeah, man. He's wild, man. He's like he's like a one man band, and he puts on a show that's like I say, it's really just it's like you have to like to be there. You have to be there.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It
you
isn't
guys.
it isn't
Yeah,
a way of being like, oh no, he brings out like the pedals and all this stuff, and so it's no you know he isn't on the computer or any he's making a whole beat. You know what I'm saying? He's making a beat like in that moment in front of everybody. Um, yeah, it's really crazy to see it, man. It's really interesting, man. It's like I say, it's just like proprietary, man. It's like it's its own thing.
So are you guys? are your shows pretty already set up, or do you guys just do more of a broad scale? Do you guys leave room for improv? Because I
It's
can see you guys
outline.
kind of like
It's an
free
outline
flowing.
there,
Yeah,
right? And then within that, we come up with ideas like on the spot. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It's gonna be fun.
nice, man. And how long do you think that will be?
Um, I don't know. I think his show he may do 35 around there. I think I mean for me it's like it's really quick, but it's the way I approach it. I mean these days it's a bit more comedic, because like people are into that. So and I make work that is a bit more comedic, and people I don't know, it really it resonates with people. You know what I'm saying? And it brings people into like like the more emotional. I mean, I make some emotional work too, so it brings them into that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know, man. It's like an outline there, but it's hard to say if it's going to be this long or that long. Like honestly, because it's like a free flowing thing. You know? Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
well, that's cool to hear.
Mhm.
We'll get a little encore going.
Yeah, exactly. It's really free flowing, man. It's fun though. It's fun.
Hell yeah, man. And you were talking about the comedy, man, and you were saying you got the album coming up is about breast.
Yes, it's a breast album. Yeah, it's
Nice,
about
man.
breast. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
You know, I don't use that word that much. You know, you don't
Right.
use the word breast much.
I
With
know.
chicken breasts.
I know. Right. Exactly. That's great. That's true. That's true. Yeah. I don't know. It's a weird thing. I was just like, it just hit me. It just hit me out of the blue. I think I was high. I like to be honest with you. And I was just in bed, and I was like, oh yeah, I think this would be like hilarious if I do it right. So yeah, I've been working on it, man. It's funny. It's really funny, man. And just about I don't know. It's all of it. It's like
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm
yeah.
like trying to figure out what to expect in my head right now. I'm
It's
like,
funny.
what
It's
could?
funny. Yeah, because I feel like as an adult, I shouldn't be, I shouldn't be doing that. That's why it's funny. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, who talks like this anymore? But yeah, it's just cutting edge, man. It's on some other stuff, man. Because everybody's more like politically correct now. So it's kind of like I don't want it to be as politically correct because it's like, yeah, it's just like a time where I'm free, like to make what I want to make. You know what I'm saying? If I was like a bigger artist, it may be a bit different. But in this moment, I'm making what I want to make, and I'm leaving it at that. You know what I mean? So, yeah,
It's important, man, because
yeah.
I feel you that it's a weird time right now. It's like
Mhm.
being a musician, anybody really. It's like, what can you really?
Yeah,
I guess you can
yeah.
still say it. It's just a matter of if people start getting pissed or not.
Right, yeah, and it's not like offensive. It's more like I don't know. It may come off a bit abrasive. I like to people, but I mean well. You know what I mean? I truly do. I mean well, but it's just funny. Like honestly, it's just
Do you
funny.
have you been doing any artwork for it?
Um, yeah, I'm working on it. I know what it's gonna be,
Okay.
and it's like I can't tell you, but I wish
Yeah,
I
yeah, you're
could.
cool.
But
I
it's
was just
like
curious.
it's hard to explain. It's like a rendering of me, but it's like a piece of like a movie that I loved like when I was like a kid.
Okay.
So I took that and I put it in. Now I'm in it. It's this guy with around all these big breasts. It's kind of funny.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice, man, nice.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's more comedic because like I don't know, people are into that. I mean, if I'm being honest about like the metrics, you know what I mean? Like I make my like emotional work. And I'm like, oh, this is art. You know what I mean? And I make my comedic work, and the metrics say that's what they're into. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So now I'm just like, you know what? I'm going with it. If that's what y'all want, I'll make it. You know what I mean? And I'll do my best to, I want it to come off, as good as it can. You know what I'm saying? It isn't like it's like the work I'm gonna put into it is identical to like the work I put into my more like emotional stuff. So it's gonna be good.
And that's cool, man, that you embrace that
Mm-hmm.
instead of like being like, oh, I just want to do only my most artsy like
Right.
music. But it's cool that you embrace that and do
Yeah.
what is it, like the Fredo Principles? Like you do 80% on this and 20%
Right.
focus. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah, man.
I like that. Yeah, man. I've just learned, man. I watch artists and like the way they do things, and it's like you got these people out here who are just like, oh no, I'm an artist and I'll never do that. You know what I mean? But I'm like, you know what? That's what the people like. I'm giving it to them. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, yeah.
And that's cool too. It's a new time.
Yeah, I
It's free.
respect both. You know, I
It's
respect the guy who's like, I'm not gonna do this. I'm like, cool,
Right.
dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I have a
get
buddy,
it.
I have an actor friend who does that,
Mhm.
and I'm like, he said if I can't wear my cowboy boots in audition, I'm not fucking with it.
Wow.
I'm like, all right,
Wow.
bro. I was like,
Man.
he's just like a hardcore like
Wow.
Midwest boy. I'm like, I got
Yeah.
props for that though,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
He knows his lane.
Yeah, he knows what he wants to do. I like that. It takes that though. So yeah, you know, there's people who don't know anything. You know what I'm saying? So he knows what he wants,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I respect that. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with, you know. I feel like it's just like a free time to where, you know, you have big artists who do fun, you know, who do fun stuff, and that's cool too. And I mean, it makes people happy. So it is what it is.
So who are some of your more? I think I saw it actually on your IG profile. You said like Pharrell,
Yeah.
like a Missy Elliott,
Yeah, for sure.
and those are some of your more. That's some of your
Yeah, that's
inspiration.
my inspiration. Yeah, and then, you know, it's like I love Pharrell, man. He just, I don't know. I feel like,
That dude hustles,
yeah,
man. Like,
he's always working, right? And you know, I look at his career, and you know, he's like an icon or whatever. But he had, you know, he had like a moment or two in his career where he wasn't as hot. You know what I mean? And he just went through it, and you know, it's ups. You know, it just, I don't know. I view his career as like a model for like the way I want to approach things, man, because he reinvented himself. You know what I'm saying? Like a few times. As much as he's like this big icon, he reinvented himself. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And,
What was his pop off? Like, what really put him on the map?
man, it's cool. Yeah, like a few, but
Cause like his stuff, I know. Like, I've never been a huge fan. Like, I got
Right.
props for the guy, but I never kept up with him. But his stuff, like,
Super
gets so
thug.
much plays. Like, it's
Oh,
insane.
yeah,
Like,
for sure. I mean, you know, he like began as like, you know, just like making beats for people, and eventually he made it to, you know, to where he was like the main. You know, he really was the guy. Like if you wanted to hit, like it's like you went to Pharrell. And so yeah, I mean his I don't know what popped him off. I would say probably Noriega. I don't know if you ever heard that song. Like what? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And it kind of blew up after that, man. He really just blew up after that. I mean, so yeah. But you know, but it's everything. It's the music. You know what I'm saying? The way he presents himself. You know, like the way he moves in business. And yeah, he's always you know, he's been able like to bounce back, and I like that. And so yeah, um I love his work. I look up to him a lot. You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah, I love Kanye. I'm from the Chi. I'm from Chicago, so I love Kanye, man. His work, his approach to his work, I think is great. And when I look back at it, it's crazy because he told people he was like, yeah, you know, I'm not talented. I just work hard. And like in my mind, I was always like, oh, I'm not, you know, I'm not talented, or I'm not talented enough, or I'm in this box or that box. And when I look back at his career, I'm like, oh yeah, he just worked hard at all this stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He couldn't, you know, he wasn't like a rapper at first. He wasn't, you know, a beat maker at first. He was like playing video games. I think he said, and he wanted to make beats for his video games, so he taught himself how to make beats. And then he wanted to be a rapper. He's like, I'm not good at rapping. I'll teach myself how to be a rapper. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah,
was
he
like,
goes like I've heard story.
yeah,
I've seen some funny interviews with him too, but I
yeah,
hear stories about him like
mhm,
how he was just like in the beginning days was just like, yo, like I'm doing this shit. Like
right.
you're gonna be feeling this shit. We're gonna do it. Like
Right.
let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So I look up to that, man. And then, you know, he's from the hometown, so I love that. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, I look up to like a bunch of artists, man. At this point, you know, I've listened to, you know, everything, man. So at this point, I'm really like a mixture of all, um, um, you know, everything that that you know I like at this point. It's like a weird thing. I'm looking at things differently now, man. Just like gumbo. You know, I'm gumbo now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be like the most like, you know, original artist. You know, because I feel like I've done that too, and it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm gonna be so original. I'm gonna do shit that, you know, like you never heard before, and people were like, I'm not really feeling it. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So when I was like, you know what, it's cool to be like a bit derivative, you know what I'm saying, and really just, you know, and that's when it really hit. It really hit for me. Like people are like, oh, okay, because it's like familiarity, you know what I'm saying? But then like, you know, it's like its own thing as well. So yeah, that's what I'm big on now. I'm just
Supplying
gumbo.
everything,
Yeah,
huh?
I'm just gumbo
I
now,
like that,
man.
man. Is
Yeah.
that a song you got?
No, but
That should be.
you know what? I'm gonna run with that.
Yeah, man. That's some
Thank
catchy
you,
stuff
thank you,
right there, man.
thank you, man. Yeah, like I
They
say,
just
I'm
gumbo.
open. I'm open to ideas now. I'm like, if this is hot, I'm running
Yeah.
with it. I'll make it pop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And
Mm.
I don't want when I say cliche, it has the wrong connotation here, but I had a film teacher a while back, and
Mhm.
he's like, we were talking about movies and shit, and some people were saying ideas like, oh, that's been in so many movies. He's like, remember, it's cliche because it works.
It works. Right.
So it's like, yeah, like it might be, but that's why it's there, because it has
Yeah.
a setup all the same shit. But
Right.
it just kind of reminded me of that a little bit.
Yeah,
Of
for
like,
sure, for sure.
'cause-
Because even if you're like, yo, I'm taking this idea, it won't come out like that. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
gonna be its own thing anyway. So take pieces of whatever, man, and that's what it's all about, man. Like honestly, it took me a while to figure that out, but that's what it's all about, you know.
and it's cool too that like the amount of content too, because like
Mhm.
if you're putting so much time in one album that's really artistic,
Mhm.
and it's like you put say a year into it, and it's like
Mhm.
okay, shit, and then that's cool. I feel like, but the fact that you could have other stuff working on the side, dropping
Right.
singles and everything's
Right.
really
Yeah.
important to keep the
Yeah.
traction going.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all about the momentum, man, and just you know, like finessing. You know, what I'm saying the algorithms. You know, because it's cool now, man. You could put out your own shit, and it's been like that for a while. But these days, I don't know, man. If you're a musician, if you're doing it right, it's oh my god, it's opportunity, man. Like, because everybody has their own audience. You know what I'm saying? There's room for everybody to have their own audience. So if you just approach it right, it's cool, man. You know, I make money, you know what I'm saying, off music. And, you know, I mean, just in general, I make money off, um, about like, I make money off of like the things I'm passionate about, you know what I'm saying? And that has been like, I don't know, that's been a blessing to me. Like, honestly, I'm looking at it, I feel like, I went through a period where it's just, work, 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 work. And I didn't think about anything. But in this moment, I mean, I would say for like a month or so, I've been thinking about that like a lot. Like, oh man, I'm really doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing things that I'm passionate about, and I pay my bills, and you know what I'm saying. I live, and it's really crazy. So if you want to do it, man, this is the moment. This is the moment.
Oh yeah,
Don't
man.
put it off.
And it's cool that you can like step back like that too,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
kind of assess
yeah,
the
yeah.
situation. Like, it's so easy to get caught up in the day every day. Like, oh shit, and your attitude, my attitude, I feel like are kind of something like, oh, I got to grind, do this, this, this today. But it's cool to take a step back and realize how far you've come.
Yeah,
It's
for
like,
sure, man. Yeah, it's yeah, because it's tough, man, and it's moments to where like you might be the only one who thinks it's possible. You know
yep,
what I'm saying? And I've been there. Like I'm the only person who thinks this shit is real, and everybody else is like he's crazy. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
there'll be many of those moments, but it's about being able to push and just say, you know what, I'm doing me. You know what I mean? So yeah, yeah.
Some real talk, man. Yeah, you just got to just do you, right?
Uh-huh.
So that would be some advice you'd have to some yeah. What would you say to like upcoming or somebody that wants to do graphic design or come up into hip hop? Just kind of just
Yeah,
do the work, huh? Stay
yeah,
consistent.
yeah. Just as a you know, like creatives who just want to do it, who really want to do it, who really passionate, who want to build like a career. Um, I mean, for one, obviously it's about the work, you know what I'm saying? But it's like also it's a mental thing too. It's a game, you know what I'm saying? Because you have to push through, like adversity. And so, I mean, to me, that's like the biggest. Like honestly, like as much as it's like about the work and reps, you know what I'm saying? Like being like a gym or something, it's about the reps. But I don't know. It's like, but the main thing is having the ability to push through adversity, you know. I mean, because if you can't do that, it's like you won't make it anyway. You know what I mean? Because even if you're a bigger artist or whatever it is you're doing, it's going to be adversity. So what are you going to do then? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, huh?
So yeah, I mean, if I could just advise anybody, I mean, I would say, um, for one, do the work. You know what I'm saying? For two, it's good to have like a mentor. You know what I'm saying? Who's already there, and they can say, okay, well, I made this move, I made this move, I made this move. So if you want to do that, I'm telling you, it's just the game. And then just, build up, um, you know, the mental game, you know what I'm saying? Like to push through the moments of adversity. Yeah, that's what I recommend to anybody. It could be anything, honestly. I look at this shit like it's all the same. So I'm just like a person who's creative, and now I'm like a pro at it. But that can just like, apply to anything. You know what I'm saying? Like honestly, like it's about the work, about having like a mentor and push through adversity. Yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
And the mentor part, man, is
Mhm.
really important.
That's
Yeah,
that's
like that's the truth right there too, man. I
uh-huh,
need, I've had a couple throughout that have come in my life and
uh-huh,
kind of still there, but I need to, I need to find a new one right now. I feel like
uh-huh.
find somebody else. But a lot of my friends and stuff are kind of mentors in that way, just like
Right.
uplifting spirits and stuff. But
Uh-huh.
like you're saying, like have somebody who's been through the game,
Right.
like, yo, you
Yeah.
gotta,
Yeah, exactly. Because, it's like for one, it's good to get, the advice and all that stuff, but then it's just like a relationship too. You know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, I've done like a bunch of shit where, I've worked hard and I made it to get like, like whatever. It could be like a gig I wanted to get or whatever. And I worked hard and I got it. But then it's moments like to where I knew a guy, you know what I'm saying? And he got me up in the building and now I'm doing this amazing shit, you know what I mean? So it's like relationships, man, are key. And so that's obvious. So if you have a mentor who he's been there, so it could be her, it could be him, whatever, who's been there, that's gonna be a big help, you know what I'm saying? Because they could put you on, you know what I mean? So
and
yeah,
especially too, like you said earlier, sometimes it'll be just you on you and
right,
your mission and what you believe, and
right.
having that person there can
Oh,
really
yeah,
like
that's a
that's helped me a
boost, man.
couple. Yeah, it's that boost that you need sometimes. Like, okay, shit, I'm
Mm-hmm.
on the help you realize you're doing shit right, you're on the
Mm-hmm.
right path. Because yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it can get
Yeah, it's
shit.
tough, man.
Yeah,
It's tough, bro. I mean everything is tough, but but especially when it's like you're in a space where there's millions of people who want to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's what you have to know. Like, oh, it's all these people who want to do music, who want to be artists, who want to do design work and all that stuff. There's millions of people out there who want to do this at one time. So what are you gonna do, to make yourself above the rest or like whatever it is? You know what I mean? It might be a relationship. You never
yeah,
know,
yeah. You gotta separate yourself, and that's kind of
Yeah.
how I feel when I was hopping into the podcast game. Is I'm like, there's already so many people doing this.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, in the cannabis space, it's a lot smaller.
Right, right.
So it's good to have the niche there. But I was kind of thinking the same thing. But all like, there's ways you can do it. Like the fact that I'm running video too with the
Mm-hmm.
audio, just like
Mm-hmm.
little separators that
Yeah.
help like distinguish you from the
Oh
competition.
yeah, of course. Yeah, I love what you're doing. That's why I wanted to do it. Honestly, I was like, yo, this is really dope, and I like how it's it's well done. Like honestly, man, it's really well done. And I love weed. You know what I mean? And I love to hear from people who smoke and are really and who still have the ability. You know what I'm saying? Like to do whatever it is and really do work. You know what I mean? Because it's like we heard forever and ever. Like you know what it is. Like smoke weed, like you're a bum. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
know what I mean? But it's like no, it ain't really. It's like that person who falls victim to that was already a bum. You know what
dude,
I'm
that's
saying?
you took the
You know
words
what
right out of
I'm
my
saying?
mouth. I'm
Right.
like, because I'm
Yeah.
like, I think like laziness is kind of a gene almost.
Right.
Like you're
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
dude, it's just gonna
It
either way.
magnifies it.
Yeah,
It,
yeah,
it magnifies
magnifies. Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. That's real talk, man. That's real talk. Man, yeah, I appreciate you having me, man, because it's like it's a weird thing, but a bunch of my creativity, man, has been, it's been due to weed. Like honestly, as much as, and that's typical, but when I look back on it, I'm like, oh fuck, yeah, I made this idea like when I was high, or or doing like the come down. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
have my best ideas,
Oh, really?
honestly.
Okay.
So yeah, it's really cool, man. It's really cool.
That's interesting that it's staring when it's kind of coming off that you're like, oh, okay.
Right. Yeah, because for me, it's like a process, right? So basically, it's like work, 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 and so working a lot. You know what I'm saying? I get kind of like pent up or whatever. So take a hit or two. You know what I'm saying? And then at that point, it's like oh, it's like when it's a peak. At that point, I'm too turned up, like to be creative. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? I'm
Here's
too
it.
like oh my god. But then when it wears off a bit, it just all just I don't know, man. It comes,
It
man. It's
goes.
all comes. And it's like, oh, it's right there. I'm just like, ooh, I want this idea. I'll take this idea out the air. You know what I'm saying? And it may be like the day after that I'll work on it. You know what I'm saying? But it all comes in that moment.
And
Yeah.
do you write most of your stuff? Do you freestyle and write, or like kind of?
No, I write because I
Oh
write
yeah,
pretty
you
much
mentioned
every
that
day.
earlier. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I write pretty much every day.
You
So
hold yourself to that standard. You like, I got to get some writing
yeah,
in, kind of
yeah.
deal.
But well, I do and I don't because at this point it's just a muscle, and it's almost like a thing I can't turn off. You know what I'm saying? So it's just always happening. So the best ideas, I'll just put them down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm just always writing in my head, like always.
Just like type it in your phone or
Yeah, I put
okay,
it on my
cool.
phone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm just always writing. Like, it's kind of crazy. It's like I broke my brain or something at
I
some
know that's
point in my
awesome,
life.
bro.
Yeah,
I've been trying to get to that level, but it's so
yeah,
easy not to.
right.
Like, be
Yeah,
like, oh, I have a good idea, and then just don't put it in for so. And the phone's in my pocket. I'm not
right,
doing anything
right,
else that
right,
important.
right.
It's like
Exactly. Yeah, that's the
so.
whole thing,
So
man.
power to you, dude, because that's not easy to like. That's muscle memory that you've like
Right.
built
Yeah.
up to
Yeah.
like.
Right. Yeah. It's muscle memory. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Because this is one of those things where it's like, just being like a person who, I was working and just like a busy person, but I knew I love music, so I was like, I need to be able to like to write, and so I started writing in my head, you know what I'm saying, and then just after a while, it just turned into like my thing. I just can't turn it off now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that's been a big help, man. That's been a big help for me. Yeah.
Do you ever wake up with like a crazy idea in the morning or a dream, or do you
Yeah.
write? Do you write in the morning ever?
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that
Uh,
for a little bit, and I was
uh-huh.
pleasantly surprised with like the shit I was writing. I was like, this is actually like a cool idea I didn't
Yeah.
even know I had in my
Yeah,
head.
yeah. Because most people, it's like you're in your own way, man. Like so it's like that's the whole thing about like the come down. At that point, I move out of my way. You know what I'm saying? Because ideas, it's like the idea is already there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but you're just, I don't like you're in your own way.
Yeah.
It's like you're pent up about like working, you know what I'm saying? Bills. You know what I'm saying? It's all this other shit. It's in the way of that. So true creativity, you have to be open, you know what I'm saying? Like to be free. So that's where like the weed helps, man, because it puts all that shit away and I'm just like, yo, it's art. It's right there. Like I said, like the ideas are there. It's in the air. Just boop, boop. You know what I'm
I
saying?
like that outlook too
Yeah.
because I've never really thought about it
Mhm.
quite like that. But it's
Mhm.
like, yeah, there's just a barrier. You just gotta
Mhm.
find your way around the
Right,
maze and
right.
get that shit.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. That's cool, man. Like what do you do to like come up with ideas? Like, I'm on your podcast, but I'm asking
No,
you,
no,
what
no.
do
I
you do?
appreciate it. Basically the same thing. And some stuff will just hit me randomly.
Mhm.
A lot of times I won't write it down, but I'll kind of just like repeat it in my mind.
Mhm.
Or there's days when I'll just actually just sit there and
Mm.
just write a bunch of shit that I think would
Wow.
be cool. Like let's just say video topics.
Okay.
And I'll just write them. Then I'll go through that night or the next day and be like, this is kind of trash. I
Okay.
don't know about this. And
Mhm.
then, but I've been doing the same thing you're kind of been doing,
Mhm.
making content that I know works well.
Right.
Because I've been doing the same stuff in
Mhm.
terms of like even on my other channel where I just did comedy on my
Mhm.
like Jack page,
Mhm.
but that stuff that I am most passionate about and do the most work in, even
Mhm.
like the drama work I've done too, doesn't get the best views.
Right.
It's like the how tos or when
Mhm.
you're teaching people, or just some of the comedy stuff does good, but it's
Right.
like a lot of times. So I've been putting my focus in with
Mhm.
stuff that I kind of know that works,
Yeah.
but and then it's hard to balance sometimes the stuff that I want to do. So on the side, I've been kind of doing some film projects and
Okay.
screenwriting
Oh,
and
that's
shit
dope.
like that.
Yeah, yeah. Because you can always swing back around after you hot. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look
Yeah.
at it. That's what I'm learning. So yeah, that's really smart. Really
and
smart,
and
actually.
I could probably be better about scripting, but
Mhm.
who I am, I like to leave stuff pretty open.
Right.
So I'll just have like we were talking earlier, I just have a broad outline of what I want to do,
Mhm.
and then I'll leave it open. And then a lot of times the magic can come from
Yeah.
not being too dead set on what exactly I want.
Right. Yeah. Because it's magic in both of those. It's like you make boundaries, right? And there's magic in that too. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's open, then it's like a million ideas can
Yeah,
come, and
that's
it's
true.
hard to pick one. So yeah, so it's magic in both of those. Yeah, I get that. Man.
Yeah, and
So
that's been a hard part is finding the lane, I guess, because I wanted to
right.
go, and that's what I still do on my page to
Mhm.
feed me is like
Mhm.
do other types of videos.
Mhm.
But even if I know they're not going to do that well, I'm like I just want to make this shit because I want to do it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Sometimes you gotta do that.
but yeah, man, people still it still resonates with some people. It's a
Mhm.
cool thing. And
Mhm.
it's all for me too right now. A lot of it's just experimenting of like
Mhm.
I want to see what this will do when I put this out, or
Right.
like yeah, just experimenting a lot right now, man.
Mhm.
I'm just
Mhm.
trying to figure it out.
That's great, man.
That's it.
I mean, you hustling. I like that. I love your hustle, man.
Uh,
That's really great, man.
Thanks, man.
That's
Yeah, the
very great.
cannabis space is interesting right now for
Mhm.
content, especially. It's
Mhm.
like it's a weird world right now out here, man.
Yeah. Yeah. It's wide open. It's like that's like a thing I'm learning too. It's like you were able to be in it, like without being in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's money in that. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty smart. That's really smart, actually. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep it building, man. That's been my focus. Just maybe to my fault is just cranking content, keep creating content this whole year. That's all I've been trying to do is for True Buds TV, just trying to make the best content I can. But you know, I feel like maybe that could, like I was saying, could be a fault. Maybe I need to step back sometimes and slow your roll a little bit. But that's just my style, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I think a time for that is gonna come. But at that point, it's about the metrics. So you can say, I made all this content, and then you just observe the metrics and say, okay, well, this is what people want. I'll focus on this more and just leave everything else behind. You know what I'm saying? So it's time for you to make a bunch of content and just, figure out, the right way to approach it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I get that. Yeah. That's dope, man.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, I enjoy it, bro. I mean, even the videos that take, a while, like the cooking videos and stuff, I enjoy it, and I get a product at the end. Dude.
Right.
I've been like,
that's right. Yeah, that's really true. Yeah, that's dope, man.
You do edibles at all, bro?
I used to, but these days, I don't know, man. It's too unpredictable, man. It's weird. I like that in a way. If I'm partying or something, I like that. It's like the feeling of like, I don't know, of like, oh, fuck, I forgot. I ate this. You know what I'm saying? And then it's hitting you like you're like, oh, I feel different. Oh yeah, I ate that edible. I like that, but like I say, like I'm getting older and just doing more business. It's hard to like, enjoy it as much. But yeah, I don't do too many edibles anymore, man. Although I do enjoy them. Yeah.
What about vapes?
Vapes. Ooh, you know what? I like the vapes. You know what I'm saying? Like convenience above all else. But but I don't know. It's like to me the high, it isn't as good. You know what I'm saying?
Truth,
As when
man.
you burn it, it just isn't as good, man. I don't know. It's a weird feeling. Yeah.
Everybody I've talked to is on the same page there.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. It's different. I mean, what about dabs? Do you dab?
You know what? Man, this one time I took a dab and it just
Melted you, huh?
that shit was like a movie, bro. It was like, I think this is too strong for me. You know what I'm saying? That shit was like a movie, bro. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I'm leaving this alone, man.
Yeah, dude, that shit goes hard. Dude.
Hard as fuck. Yeah.
I haven't done too many. Like I'll do them on occasion. Somebody offers it, but I'm like,
yeah,
dude, this shit is like,
it's crazy.
Yeah, people.
And then, I don't know, man. To me, just like the whole like appearance of it as well. It looks like I'm doing like a real drug.
Yeah.
I don't vibe with that. Yeah, it looks like it's too much for me, man.
Yeah,
man. I'm from
they-
the hood and shit. I've seen people like do like, you know what I'm saying?
it's
Fucked
like
up shit.
shit.
I can't.
Yeah, they got these like electronic nails and stuff that people use. But yeah, most of the time it's like I had a dude I worked with. He would just roll like he'd drive in his car and do that shit at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah, like I'm like,
Wow.
right.
That's
Actually,
crazy.
my boy in Jersey used to roll up blunts all the time driving, but I feel like that's a little safer.
Yeah.
It's like lighting a rig and
Right,
you're
right,
driving your
exactly.
knee and shit. It's like,
That's
dude,
fucking insanity, man. And then afterwards, he's high as fuck.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh my God, that's crazy. Yeah, man. I like the real thing, man. Like honestly, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm into. You know, I typically at this point, I would say I prefer a bowl. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm into. You know what I'm saying? Because I take a hit or two. And
A couple nice ones.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then I'm good, for like a few hours at least. And then, that's what I like to do these days for the most part. Yeah. A joint is cool too if I'm with the homies. But when I'm alone, I don't know. Yeah, it's not really as necessary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I hear you. I do the same thing.
Yeah.
And do you go to dispensaries or
The flea market, man.
the turf
You already
market?
know. Yeah. I love
yeah.
turf
Yeah,
market.
and other
man.
friends turn me on to it,
He
man.
put me on too. He put me on. I walked in there with him one time. I was like, this is fucking crazy, bro. But it's great, man. And just as like a business person, I like it because it's like these guys, you know what I'm saying, like eliminate like the middleman, you know what I'm saying? Like direct to consumer. I'm all about that.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
too.
so
It's like-
yeah. It's options, you know what I'm saying? And then like the prices are better. It's cool, It's like relationship building too, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
So
why I like.
cool.
Yeah, I still haven't gone. I've talked to him, found out about that maybe a month and a half ago. I still need to hit it up.
Yeah,
I'm just usually busy on Thursday nights. It's a problem. I see a clear room to hit the turf market, man.
yeah, man. I recommend it. I think you would enjoy it.
Yeah,
I
and that's where
promise
too
you.
I probably meet a lot of cool people to
Mhm.
probably get some of them, get some growers or something on the podcast.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
relationship building too, because you're in there with business people. You know what I'm saying? It's a fun place, but people are doing like big business in there, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
yeah, they're moving some weight,
Yeah,
huh?
like big business, man. It's nuts, bro. It is nuts.
It's a little off topic, but for some reason it popped in my head. where do you record at? Do you have a little studio set
Yeah,
up?
it's in my apartment.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I like working out of my apartment, man. It's a weird thing. I'm always like, I'm going to the studio. Like when I do like another album, I'm going to, and I just can't bring myself to do it. I don't like studios. It's a weird.
Well, thanks for coming in today.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, it's a podcast. You know, what I'm saying? This is great. This is great. You know, it's funny. I love being in here, but I don't know. It's like when I'm working on my stuff, man. It's like it's hard to like. I don't know. I think the help would be amazing. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard to just say like. I don't know. It's difficult to like. I guess. I don't know. It's hard to like communicate that stuff to like another person. Like, yo, I want this there. That. In my mind, it's just really quick. Just erase this, boom, boom. You know, like I'll move this over. It's really quick. So I like working alone, but it can burn me out at times though. But and then as well, it's kind of a weird energy to be like, you know, I live in this space, I work in this space. You know what I'm saying? You know, so which one is it? You know, it's a different energy. A workspace has like a much different energy than like, you know, a home. You know what I'm saying? So that's a bit difficult. But in general, yeah, I love working at home, man.
Yeah, I know what you're saying though. It does have a different vibe for sure. But yeah, it's nice to have the in-home setup.
Yeah, it's great. It's convenient, man. You know, because like I said, I might be high or something, like come up with an idea, I just put it down. You know what I'm saying? It may not be like the one in that moment, but I'll polish it up. I'll work on it. It may take me a month, but I got it. You know what I'm saying? It's on tape at least.
And studio time's not cheap. What does it go for? What's the average? Do you know?
Ooh, I mean, medium quality, like 50 an hour and up. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. I mean, if you have like a budget, for a project, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind paying it, but if I could do it on my own,
well, yeah, you got the expertise, so
right,
exactly.
If I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? But it does have its perks though. Like I mean, I can admit that, but you know, I'll wait till I have a budget. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause in most cases, it's like the music business is weird, man, because it's like you work like like if you're on like a big label, it's like you working like it's like they buy like a big studio space, so you have like to pay for it, but it's out of like a budget, but it's like right back to them. It's crazy, yeah, because
so we got the space for you, but
right.
We're gonna pay for you, but it's gonna be coming back. Okay,
right. It's like
interesting.
a weird thing. So in most cases, like the artist is like whatever, man. It's the record label. It might burn up a budget, but whatever, it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? But like in my case, it's not worth it all the time. You know what I mean? So I mean, I could do it on my own. I'll do it.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting because it's like that. And is there a record label around right now that you look to as like these dudes are doing shit right in the game that sticks out over others?
Oh, let me see. Selection for sure. Selection is really dope. I like what they're doing. It's like a movement. It's just like a record label. It's a movement.
Word.
There's a few labels out there, man. I don't know. But it's kind of weird. I like doing things on my own too. You know what I'm saying? I want my own label, honestly. And I basically do, like I run my own, but it's kind of like, it's in my bedroom and shit, but I kind of like, I run my own shit. You know what I'm saying? I make the artwork, promote the music on my own. I make a budget for that. I put it out on my own. You know what I'm saying? I find like collaborators, you know what I mean? And so I get it. It's like for me, I guess the whole advantage of being on like a label is the relationships. Like I say, that's a big part of doing this. But in general, yeah, I don't know. I look to these guys. I like what they're doing, and I appreciate it. But I'm more like, I'm not like, I don't know. It's one thing to want to be with them, but like the way I look at it is, I'm capable of doing that alone. You know what I'm saying? Or so it's cool. It's cool though.
Yeah, you're on your own lane, man.
Yeah, there's labels out there. But if I but the ones I look up to, like honestly, are ones that are like it's a movement, not just about like the music.
Okay, it's got deeper underlying meaning. Cool, man. Cool.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Well, thanks for coming out again today, man.
Well, thank you, man. Thanks for having me, man. It was great, man.
Appreciate you. And anybody listening, watching for real, go check out Surfboard C. just Google it. You'll see tons of stuff pop up, rolling up, and smoke one of this smooth music, man.
It's a vibe. That's what they say. It's a
The vibe.
baby.
Get on that Surfboard C vibe, man, and ride that wave.
Ride the wave. That's
Yeah.
right. That's what, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. It's good to have you, bro.
Thank you.
Happy to see this breast
Yeah.
album drop.
Yes.
That sounds a little weird. I'm happy to see this breast.
Album. Yeah. No, but yeah. Thank you, man.
Yeah, appreciate you, brother. Well, thank you.
Mhm. Wow.
A special thanks to the sponsor today, Real Leaf. If you like smoking spliffs, you're tired of tobacco, go to realleaf.com, grab some of their terpene-enhanced herbs, and roll a fatty spliff.
This is True Buds, that Mary Jane, now we ain't new to this. For my stoners and for my cannabis enthusiasts, never heard a show as good as this. Yeah, number one, it's the best. Bringing in many special guests in the industry of cannabis. Business owners to growers, even artists you know of. So sit back and just roll up the perfect show for my smokers. True Buds.